Welcome, everybody, to episode 251 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We are your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson.
Hey.
This is what life is like post 250.
Kind of the same, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Same old. It's just the numbers go up.
We did have a beverage to celebrate.
We did. It's been a nice celebratory week for the show. Yeah, it was good. A lot of celebrations.
And 250 and
festive time of year.
That's it. Festive. That's the correct word, isn't it?
It is.
Talking about festivities, PSA have been festively celebrating themselves. So we're going to talk about this grading situation that's come to light from Twitter, which is my favorite platform. We're going to talk about a Jordan PMG that sold this week for some big dollars, but
some bank.
Should it have been more? I mean, that's kind of a good question. We're going to talk about some Wemby cards because they've made it into the Cup final. We're going to talk about some Brunson cards because they've also made it to the Cup final. We've got a card for Joe Fu, a Shaq Beam team, some Keontae George market update. I've got a card for you, another Kobe Kaboom. We've got some Jokic news. We're going to froth over Derek Queen a little bit more. And I feel like we called this one a little bit early. We were onto him. This is our third time.
You were. I wasn't sure because he's still in a shit team. But anyway.
Terrible team. And to be honest, I still think the trade is not fantastic, but it's not looking as bad as what it was because he's looking undefeated in some aspects of the court.
Formidable, yeah.
Just a whole bunch of other stuff. We're going to do a gem rate check-in this week. It's been a while since we've checked in with Ryan from Gem Rate, so we're going to do that. And then, of course, we've got a whole bunch of other stuff that we probably won't get to because we always go along.
It sounds like it. Look, if we don't get around to everything and we've overpromised and underdelivered, we are sorry. We will cover it next week, though.
We'll try.
Yes.
All right, so let's get straight into this PSA situation. If we want to do a one-line summary of this, and this is all becoming uncovered as we go. So I think some of these are going to be facts and some of these are going to be like not so factual, but let's just
speculative and
we're also a week down the track because we could have done this last week, but my sort of feeling was that more information was going to come out and it would be better if we did it this week. So that's why we've done it this week. So this is from Twitter account PZPTCG. Okay, in an absolutely wild turn of events, apparently some of these were literally graded a 10, but PSA falsely told me they were 9s. Some of the slabs were originally marked as a PSA 9. I sold back to PSA at their PSA buyback value, which we've been talking about this already in terms of
PSA. I've already labelled the concern of the monopolized market.
Yeah. So PSA have been buying up their own slabs and they've been then reselling them to repackers, and they've also branded their own, type form of repack. And then I think also everyone's been getting the Stadium Club advertising in their Facebook feed. Like, have you been getting that ad?
Maybe.
And that's
I don't pay attention.
That's the repack where it's the digital one that's online.
Yeah. Did you know you can get digital? Yeah.
And so they're like in that sort of whole ecosystem of all that, feeding cards into that too, where you open the card online, you open a digital pack, but you get a physical card and they offer you instant buyback. So essentially you can just keep dipping back in. So it's all part of that same sort of ecosystem of what we're talking about here.
Trading card pokies, here we go.
Yeah, basically. All right, Anyway, back to the Twitter post. But now if you look at the certificate, it's a PSA 10. They bought PSA 10s from me for less than the PSA 9 value because they showed me the wrong grades, or did they change it after the fact? And then, so I think after this post was put up, so this was put up December the 4th. So this is now 8 days ago in terms of, chronological time. A lot of people picked up on this and it sort of became, a bit of a Instagram moment, basically, where people
definitely went viral, where people were
viral and people reposted, and then people said, they didn't want to grade with PSA anymore, and da. So we're going to get to all that stuff in a minute. What I did find though on a TCG forum, because this is more TCG related, but I think it does impact basketball a lot, was the original post, and then the original poster also clarifying what he then put up.
Okay,
and then the update post is that basically what he then went back to clarify was that some of them were 10s, some of them were 9s, and then once he contacted PSA about it, they then made him whole on what the value was and essentially gave him back the 10s that had been regraded. And so I think that, that's a really interesting circumstance in that PSA essentially are giving back. So obviously they took the money back for the 9s, but then gave him back the 10s. And so I think, so for me, the initial questions is like, what triggers PSA to look at cards to reassess them? Because my understanding was that once you submit your cards in a submission or a sub, they come back to you and there's no arguing the fact. And
unless you're the grader that can do that. Yeah.
The grader can do it, but even then I've never heard of them changing a grade. And in fact, there's been instances where PSA have actually, they've got some type of system on file where they can go back and look at their grading notes and explain to you, okay, so this is graded a 6 or a 7 when you're expecting, a 9 or a 10. And these are the reasons why. And so, but I've never heard of a system in where it automatically re-triggers and then like someone gets a 10. So I think I wanted to get my head around that a little bit. I reached out to, I would call him a grading expert in Australia, and his response onto that is that I believe there's more that's come to light recently about this, including some of his cards originally being a 10, but he didn't mention it. And let's just say that is true to the fact that, let's give him that. I can't speak to what might have triggered a review other than it normally comes via an internal decision or one initiated by the customer. So, and I think that's the part where like there has to be some transparency around that internal decision. The one that's initiated by the customer, you can absolutely do that, but you have to pay for that privilege. So you have to send the card back and you can get the card reviewed again. And I believe that charge is $30 US. And so my thought around that has always been, well, like that's another way for them to extract funds out of you, because they grade it the initial time, they give you a 9, you send it back in for another review, they grade it to a 10, and then they also hit you with the upcharge fee. So
sure.
Like PSA like is absolutely incentivized to, have that scenario sort of play out. So I've given you a fair bit of groundwork here. So my first question to you is like, what's your feeling on that internal decision for them to automatically reassess cards, and particularly when they've brought them back at a PSA 9 price?
There's a comment in the chat. Anthony Milne just said, once a buyback's in place, it's already compromised.
Yeah.
Look, do you know something that can trigger a change? A viral post that's going to actually bring PSA undone. Something doesn't smell right. And I don't know if it's their internal controls or what. They should not be the ones facilitating the buyback. It's unethical and it's bad business practice. You cannot have the actual grading company in the market of selling graded cards. It's ridiculous. It is actually ridiculous. You've got people like Wondershine starting conglomerates to invest in trading in sports cards. This is a tangible asset. I don't see how the valuer can also be the banker. Anything that comes under some regulatory framework has independent verification methods and regulations that stop this nonsense. I don't like where this is headed, because if PSA, every time something happens with PSA, it's like they made them whole. No, they didn't. They got caught. That's not making them whole. That's brushing off the fact they got caught.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing to do is to jump to the conclusion that there is a scam. But like, I think where my head is at the moment, like, I just don't know either. Is this like a really big scam, or is this something that like is like, a small thing? Because remember also too, there was a sentiment recently that PSA had been buying up a whole lot of 9s, and they'd been buying up heavy 9s and 10s, and they'd been paying comps for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
So could I go back to your trade, your notes?
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about, they've got detailed notes on the grades, right? So if you've got graders, and I've graded the card at night, so hypothetically, I'm the guy at PSA that makes the notes.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I go 9.5, 9.5.
They can see the serial number. They can
9. Okay. So I'm going to make a note on this card. If this comes back, I'm switching it, right? I could also, and this hasn't been unmasked and this hasn't happened, but have those 9.99 or 9.5s that you go, you know what, I could give it a 10, but I'll give it a 9. If it comes back, I can re-slab it as a 10.
Yeah. And do they have a process to automatically trigger that? I think that
If
that's
they
that.
do, they'll give us snippets of it and repaint it as a different structure, but we have no say on it because they control the whole process.
Yeah, 100%. And I think this is where my head's at. So this is the part that's kind of like it's been going through my head, is this internal process, because it seems like the grading expert in Australia acknowledged there is an internal process there. There clearly is an internal process that's been highlighted from this Twitter post. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sort of take the controversy out of it. I'm just trying to think about this as like an actual process and where they could compromise it. So I think, that is absolutely there. So the second question in our sort of run sheet is this a scam? I think we've already addressed that. And so my next question to you is, should they be able to regrade the own cards they buy back? Like,
no, I think that's unethical.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's like, if they're going to, be moving forward through this, they need to put some guardrails in place. And I would say one guardrail would be they can't review their own cards. They can't regrade their own cards.
They shouldn't be selling the damn things. They shouldn't be buying them in the first place. Open a subsidiary company. Just don't do it.
Actually, I was going to say that. You sort of took the words out of my mouth on that, because I think if PSA are taken out of that link on the chain, I think that would be a little bit disappointing, because I do see the good sides of them being able to, buy back, put into the PSA vault, make offers on it. I think that's
the subsidiary can put it into the vault. That's fine.
Yeah, so I think if there is a way for them to build that out and do it independently,
it needs to be a different business with
right.
regulations in place, because, and this isn't just me losing my mind over regulation in the hobby.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Grading practice, having contingencies in place, to make sure this shit doesn't happen.
Yeah,
because it's concerning, to say the least. So, sure, you're right. Every card can have their own, what would you call it? Notes on why they graded it a certain way.
Yeah.
But what stops the grading company from having internal notes, putting a mark on the card to say, could regrade higher? So Paul over in one corner is our expert grader, and he goes through the grading. And he goes 9.5, 9.5, 9, 9. Have to give it a 9. Okay, PSA 9. I was like, don't give it to Paul, give it to Mark next time.
Yeah.
9.5, 9.5, 9.5. It's a 10. There we go. Cool. Give us all these ones we've flagged, and we'll go and regrade them to make a shitload of money.
Yeah. And just a little bit of background on why this could be actually a scam. And this is from Sergi Boy on Twitter.
Yeah.
Turner runs Collectors owns PSA. Okay. Turner comes from a venture capitalist background, and that background is known for hyperscaling companies.
Yep.
Good, Amazon or Meta. Bad, FTX and Theranos. The issues with PSA are PSA's niche, i.e. expanded vertical integration. Niche has a ceiling, i.e. upcharges, tiers, and vertical integration.
Yep.
And conflicts of interest, i.e. we make more money if we rate it a 10 versus a 7, 8, or 9.
Correct.
And we make more when we sell it. So I think that's a really good observation in terms of why PSA might be incentivized to actually be doing something of this type of behavior, because, at the end of the day, he's got investors to keep happy. He's got, so-and-so to keep happy. And I think that it's a really interesting point. Like, they are sort of somewhat limited by their own like niche sort of hobby, despite the fact that them grading so many damn cards at the moment and completely blowing every other grade. Like, that's like, I find that really hard to sort of almost say that.
They've already got the monopoly, right?
They're the king, but it's still not enough, And so
And once again, I'll definitely shout out Anthony Milne for his contribution here. Buying back is a scam already, because they're controlling the pop count.
Mm-hmm.
They're controlling the population of the card.
Yeah.
So they can release them into the market at their choosing.
Mm-hmm.
That's market control. That's borderline insider trading.
But to be fair, anyone could do that if you were so inclined to do it.
Right, yeah, but only one entity has the ability to release a bunch of 10s into the market.
Particularly if you bought them at 9 and changed to 10. Sure. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely
We buy
true.
all the 9s, we notice there's a low 10 pop count, and then down the track, when they go through the roof, oh, look, they're in the market. Oh, we made a lot of money. Oh, no. What a surprise!
We're going to go for a break, and then we'll come back and we'll keep chewing through this fat.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you to Neon Trading Cards for your ongoing support. Go to neontradingcards.com. There you'll find a huge array of breaks: soccer, NBA, MLB, F1, AFL, NRL, WWE, Marvel. Of course, the boys are on Whatnot. They are one of 3 Australian repackers on Whatnot. They are also a Topps/Fanatics direct partner. So go check them out on neontradingcards.com for all your breaking needs. Now, also this week, specific to the boys.
It's a big week.
Topps Chrome Basketball is hitting their website. Do not miss out on these breaks. Who knows how much they're going to have? The allocation could be ginormous. Who knows how much is actually coming to Australia? I have no idea.
Printed? We don't know. We actually don't know.
Anyway, it is going to be huge for the hobby. It's going to be huge for Neon. But don't forget, NBA Chrome is releasing this week. Get down to neontradingcards.com for your hobby-related needs. Alrighty, Adam, we're back. Now, we are going to continue on this PSA changing 9 to 10s situation, and we're going to talk about old mate Jeff Wilson, because Jeff Wilson had to chime in.
Of course,
and this is what Jeff Wilson had to say.
Oh, God.
Do you really believe that $1 billion company would endanger their whole business by skimming a few bucks by changing grades on cheap Pokemon cards they bought back? No way, I don't buy it. The juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze. Now, Jeff Wilson, at the same time, also announced the same week that they are now an official PSA submission center at Cards HQ. So do you think that there's possibly a conflict of interest there for Jeff Wilson and PSA, Adam?
Sorry, I'm still getting over your Jeff Wilson impression. I
thought that was goddamn fantastic.
Pretty good. I don't know how accurate it is. It's entertaining to say.
I thought it was pretty good, actually.
It's good. Yeah. It's good. It's good. Look, yeah, it's pretty much. I don't know how much you can take that without a grain of salt. Because come on, yeah, it's like you're a representative, like you're in bed with PSA. Of course, you're not going to say anything negative about them.
At this point in time, actually, I feel like PSA would have just been messaging this guy, just telling him to shut up. Like, would you just shut up, Jeff Wilson? It's like, actually, it probably means that they are guilty now that Jeff Wilson said that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, PSA have said nothing about this.
Yeah.
They have not addressed it. They've not responded to any of the comments. They've said absolutely nothing at all. And so I'm absolutely waiting to hear what PSA have got to say.
Yeah, it's very I just don't know. I don't know why he would even put his hat in the ring for it. Do you know what I mean?
So let's go to the other side of the coin. This is from Old Town JB on Twitter. Between supporting backyard breaks and now the 910 scandal, PSA's comment section looks much worse than a politician's. Not good for a consumer brand. We can just read through a couple of these. I don't think we need to go through every single one. This is from Square One Stock. At this point, the only thing that could make it worse would be if they legit got caught red-handed or something. This is pretty close. Certainly a lot of smoke coming up in the air. The grading world needs a shake-up, but I'm not convinced that there is currently a company that is ready to harness the opportunity. That means that ultimately PSA will remain the drug dealer you hate to go to, but is never out. I mean, like, sometimes people will summarize the situation so perfectly well, and I think we have to, give this person their flowers, because that's absolutely beautiful.
It's it's just, I just don't. I've got no words. It's good.
I feel like
good summary. Yeah,
the last couple of weeks has been busy between the snipe hack, the BGS hack, and now this sort of really weird situation coming out.
What's next week?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shelves are empty. No Topps Chrome for anybody. No Topps Chrome for Christmas.
I mean, that's an easy prediction. All right. So one thing that has been going through my head, which I don't really understand, is like PSA would have not got caught on this if they just had created a new serial number. So they used the old serial number, and that's how the guy tracked it down.
That's just silly.
But to me, that doesn't make sense. Like why would they do that? So
if they're a big company, maybe they did. I
reached out to Ryan on GemRainer because I thought he would be a good person to get input on this. And so he said that no, there's no way that you can detect this easily. There's no way that you can actually, be notified of this change happening. He basically said in other messages, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, but it won't impact them unless they make changes as a result, like showing the buyer of offers or making graders notes available on all cards. And so, yeah, I think that's a really interesting comment. And I actually wouldn't mind to see graders notes on the PSA registry. I think that would be a good addition to a card. And I think if you're going to regulate something, why couldn't they show offers that they've made on cards? Like if they're going to legitimize this process, if they're going to move forward on it.
Sure, I still think a third
why
party
not?
needs to. I still think a third party needs to facilitate it for integrity.
But I think that would take the profit out of their hands.
Then they don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, no, if it's a fully owned subsidiary, it won't take it out. It'll just be. It's just creating an actual integrity line that they need to like checks and balances before it goes to the other side. Easy.
Yeah, we've had some card hobby shops have released some information about this. This is from 3 Point RVA. Good morning to our friends and followers. We are very disappointed that we have to make this post today, but in light of the recent controversy surrounding PSA's grading allegations of changing grades after purchasing cards from a customer, along with other negative factors over the past few months, such as added wait times and raised fees, lack of transparency, we at 3point.rva have decided to hold all PSA submissions through us for the foreseeable future. If you're turning cards of da-da-da-da-da. But, my sort of thing about that is like, I think that's a really good stance to make, but the only person who stands to lose cash on this is 3 Point RVA, because I think people still want to submit with PSA and just go to a different subber.
Yeah.
So it's like, how long can you, keep this going for? I think you have to give them respect for making a stand, but that's sort of about all you can really do. CGC announced at the same time that they've revised their services and their fees. They're actually increasing their fees. I don't think that this was because of that. I think this is just something that happened at the same time. But
sure.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a risky move, to be honest. I think most people want cheaper grading, not more expensive grading.
No, and I think it makes it unattainable for most people to be able to grade cards. But
yeah, and I think that's another reason why you would just stay with PSA. What's the fallout of this? So Backyard Breaks have announced that they're delaying an announcement. I mean, what's the conjecture here? That they maybe going to be announcing they've got to deal with like more deals with PSA, but they can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about a way to buy 9s, make them 10s, put them into repacks and sell them on scale, like that's your path to freedom right there, isn't it? Working with Backyard Breaks.
I just think that's so,
Off the air, we're talking about Boston Card Hunter. He's had a lot to say about it, but I think my sort of major takeaway from him, in addition to what we've said, is he was comparing it to like Enron collapsing and other big, companies. And he was basically saying, don't assume that PSA is going to be here forever. But he also compared it to Blockbuster Video. I don't really think it's the same thing. I mean, Blockbuster collapsed for a myriad of other different reasons, including greed, actually, talking to some people who are in the know with Blockbuster on that. But all right, I think what we'll do is we're going to summarize here. We're going to summarize and then we're going to recap and then we'll move on to our next topic. So to summarize, I suggest that PSA can't reassess their own buybacks. They can't regrade their own cards. They have a side-owned company to purchase their cards. And Ryan from GemRate made a fantastic idea, show offers that's been made on cards to have some transparency there. Adam, I'll give you the final say on this. What do you think, mate?
I think if this is not the overwhelming evidence as to why some form of structured regulation is required in this hobby, then I don't think we'll ever get regulation.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't impact basketball cards. This impacts all trading cards.
Yep.
This is bigger than just like NBA cards. This is the whole grading economy could collapse if the integrity of the biggest one is not up to scratch.
Yeah, I do agree with that in a way, but then I think practically where would people go to? Like, people aren't going to BGS, are they?
No. But I'm talking. All right, so to make it maybe we talk about this at a later point. Wondershine gives up on the whole trading card thing and says this is too risky. If we can't trust the graders, we're out.
Particularly PSA, yeah.
So if say like that money goes out. They're like, we're not going to invest in this. We'll go and get memorabilia that we can get certified through other means. But if we can't trust the main card grader, we ain't touching cards anymore. That's a big move.
Yeah, sure. But I think that's where my head's at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this other person?
Yeah.
I think that's where, for me, it gets real tricky.
Because I think unless there is an alternative option or a framework with which to work under, this puts the hobby, this aspect of the hobby in jeopardy.
Yeah. All right, we've got a couple of minutes. So what we'll do is we're going to change up the list and do a filler card. We're going to do the Shaq Beam Team card.
Oh, so shout out to Joe Fu.
This is a good one. We can shout out Joe Fu, but we can also talk about Stadium Club because these are interesting cards. This recently sold, a PSA 10 sold for $25,000. If you look at the all-time sales on this, flat as a tack for 10 years plus. Huge raise from basically, let's call it $1,000 all the way up to 20, then all the way down. We know what that was. That was COVID. It was floating around that sort of 10K mark, and now it's gone exponentially up. The last sale was $25,200. Pop 61 on this card. I think the thing for me is, like, I don't consider these more than a nice insert. They weren't particularly expensive that long ago. It's possible you have some of these in your card piles. My 2 cents on this, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, send these cards off for grading and sell them.
You know what's gonna happen. They'll come back 9s, and you'll submit them to PSA, and then they'll list them as 10s.
Yeah, for real, right? But no, I really think that these are just, at this price, this is crazy.
Yeah. But maybe Shaq's the new one. Maybe the beam teams are the low pop stuff is spiking.
Okay, fine. We might need to get some feedback from Joe Fu on this, but yeah, honestly, my feeling on this is, look, if you got these sitting in piles, do something about them.
It's a bit of a spike. It's a bit of a crazy spike, right? It's doubled in price. I get it. More than doubled in price. However, I remember the last time we caught up with Joe.
Yeah.
He made the comment to say some of the Shaqs Shaq's on the rise.
Yeah, Shaq is definitely on the rise. I definitely agree with that.
So maybe this is one of those, because it's an iconic Shaq card, the beam team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just get a feeling. I get a feeling that maybe, because it's Jordan, Kobe, Shaq. These make sense to me. And the iconic cards, what I mean by iconic cards is things like beam team, things like, I mean, the Scoring Kings was the big one with Jordan, remember? Like, there are cards that just have the pop like that.
Yeah. I still think there's always a good time to sell a card. And for me, I'm like, right, this is, if you've got some of these in a pile somewhere, you need to at least
be very lucky if you had a PSA 10. I'll tell you what, with pop count 61, with given how many.
Well, is it luck, Adam? I mean, really, we just talked about this for half an hour.
Yeah, true.
This ad is brought to you by the Bangman, ripping NBA cases weekly with fast weekly shipping straight to your door. The group is absolutely on fire now. Recently pulled the Polo Banchero Immaculate Logo and Patch 1 of 1, which sold the very next day for 60,000 AUD. That sounds like a very round number. Do you think Wondershine brought that up, Ad?
Very round number?
60,000 straight, you know?
It's not, it's pocket change for Wondershine.
Not enough, yeah.
Pocket change.
If you went in on the action, head to Facebook groups and search the Bangman. Join the hype, join the hits, join the Bangman. Also, really quickly, they've added a 1 of 1 bounty, which will increase by $25 each break, up to a maximum of $1,000 cold hard cash into your pocket if you hit that 1 of 1 card. Get down and support Amir's group. He's doing some good things with the Bangman. Alrighty. Adam, we are back. Let's talk about something that's not controversial, that's going to fill people with joy. We're going to talk about a Michael Jordan PMG 8.5 that recently just sold for $653.60, which means to me this is not a Wondershine card, because he would have just rounded it up to 600.
I reckon they would just
5,000.
They just would have bought it for 700.
All that, yeah.
Yeah, they just would have bought it for 700,000. That's fine.
Pop 11 on this, numbered to 90. I really want to talk to you about this. I think this is
8.5 is pretty generous, given I get an 8 for edges. I could see the white.
It looks dog shit, doesn't it? It actually really it takes away from the aesthetics of the card too.
Yeah. Wow.
Look, I think I'm interested in this just for the fact that we've been talking about these lower player ones who have just been going for crazy numbers. So now
Yeah.
this is the big dog. It doesn't get any bigger than this.
That's a pretty.
You
It's
might
the big
argue
dog,
maybe
but the
Kobe
card's dog
is.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
No. The edges might be dog shit, but it's also, you ready for it? It's color match.
It's lovely. It looks good.
It's Chicago red. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's a color match. So good.
So I suppose where I'm going with this is like, where does this sort of fit into the all-time cards? Like, this is getting into
The upper echelon.
this is getting towards the Mount Rushmore at this price. Like, that's a very.
So would you put this up near the top of the not an autograph and not memorabilia card? You know what I mean? Like, you could sort of take categories.
Yeah.
And I think star player with like Jordan and Kobe dual auto 1 of 1, like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah,
$12
yeah.
million because
Yeah,
it's got their autographs on it. It's got a logo man on it. Like, oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
This doesn't have an autograph. This doesn't have a bit of jersey in it. It's just
Yeah.
a low pop.
So are you asking my opinion, or are you asking me what does the hobby think?
No. What I'm asking you if you think this is at the top of the non-auto, non-memorabilia pile.
I personally think this is crazy town because it doesn't have a patch. It doesn't have an autograph. I don't think the aesthetics of this card is that great because of the edges. And I think a little bit like this Beam Team stuff, I'm like, I think the people who are making these sales, they have to be just so happy. And what you then could roll that 650K into something else. Do you know what I mean? I really feel like that's for me sort of, where this narrative is going. And so I think my head is so much in that space. I find it like when I say it's on the Mount Rushmore, I find that almost challenging of my own sort of words to be, sort of putting that out. So
yeah.
But at the same time, it's a PMG and people love these cards. And sometimes you just have to accept that, this is one of the most important cards probably in the hobby.
Apparently, Anthony Milne's saying we're too OCD because the white edging.
Yeah, but
it's art. It's right. It's.
I mean, I
how
probably am
important
OCD
in the hobby
about
is
some
this?
stuff.
But how important is this? Is it the PMGs we've?
No,
said
it's really, really important in terms of the hobby. This is huge. This is
right.
This actually might be a bargain at some point.
I could probably show you a card that aesthetically, a hoops insert that looks better. Do you know that's more aesthetically pops and has some nice artwork? But
I like the card. I like the artwork, but maybe the edges would be better on a hoops card.
Sure, but this. Tell me a non-auto, and this is the reason I brought in the non-auto, non-jersey, right? Like, this is just a plain insert that is going to surpass this card. The man himself, Michael Jordan. Is there a better Jordan that doesn't have autograph or memorabilia?
I think if there was, it would have to be a 1 of 1. I think at this point, that would be the only thing that might move past it.
And this is like is it numbered to 99?
To 90.
90. Of the 90, there's only 11 that have graded at 8.5. I'd like to see the full pop report. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%. I get what you're saying.
It's super low pop. I don't think it'd need to be a 1 of 1, but it'd have to be like a number to 20 or something, or 23. But it's like, even Scoring Kings doesn't even touch the realm of this. Like, Scoring Kings to me is one of the iconic Michael Jordan cards, right? But this isn't.
Yeah, look, I think they're really good cards, and actually, I like them better than Kabooms. I think aesthetically they're more like a more mature card, and I like that sort of artwork better. I think just where I really struggle is just the price point on these cards. Like, I just think they're getting almost out of control is the best way to say it.
Yeah, I think. Look, don't get me wrong. The price is crazy, but I think this card or the PMGs are in a different stratosphere to most inserts because of the name itself, precious metal gems. Like, they are diamonds in the rough. They're flat out. Yeah. I just think that there's something else. They're in a class of their own. And you're right. It probably isn't the highest we've seen one of these cards go.
No, I think, and I think we touch back with this in a couple of years, and we talk about it because I think they're going to go for crazy prices. Alrighty, moving on. We're going to talk about some ultra modern cards and also some basketball news. The Spurs and also the Knicks have progressed to the Cup final. How are you enjoying the Cup so far? Like, what's your thoughts this year on how the Cup's been going?
I haven't watched it as much as I would have liked to.
Yeah.
I am glad I didn't watch the Lakers get beaten by the Spurs the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like there's a bit of competitiveness in there this year.
I
It
agree.
feels like people actually, like the teams actually care about winning it.
I
So
agree. I completely agree. I think it's actually been a really overall positive for the league.
yeah,
And the definitely
100%.
players definitely compete a little bit harder. The other really interesting thing I think is a bit of a wrinkle in this, which is not talked about a lot, is that every point does actually count. So, for example, players will play that little bit harder as the game goes on because
Yeah,
if you lose by 10 points instead of 20 points, actually that might help your aggregate as you move through. And so we had a couple of
legit.
instances where I think it was Derek Queen who was probably the most obvious one when he stole the ball at the end of the regulation and then went down and dunked the ball. And it's like, you
Yeah,
probably shouldn't have done that, but at the same time, it's a cup game,
it
so
counts.
it's okay
It
to do
actually
it. Yeah.
counts. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So the Spurs, they beat Oklahoma today. I thought that was a really good, fun game, particularly going down the stretch. Fox played good. Wemby worked out how to score over a little guy, and it all just kind of made sense. So I think now the league has to readjust again. I think if the strategy
Do,
was to send a little guy to Wemby, maybe he's got that worked out.
do we just call them ankle biters instead of ankle breakers? Just ankle biters are the small defenders on Wemby.
He's just too good, man.
He's definitely a problem for the league. Yeah.
So we got a card versus card for you. Our 2023 Prism Wemby Nebula Choice 1 of 1 sold for $860,000 versus a LeBron James from 1213 Panini Prism Gold BGS 9.5. That sold for $793,000. I kind of feel like we've done a very similar card versus card on this before because I feel like I'm going to say the same thing I said the last time. I think if you want risk, you go with the Wemby. If you just want to go with a sure thing, you take that LeBron James at 793. Oh
It's
God.
tough for me. It's
I'm gonna
actually
chicken out. I'm gonna chicken out on this one. I'm gonna go with the LeBron and walk away from the Wemby. What are you taking, man?
I'm gonna take the Wemby.
All right, cool.
I'm
Listeners at
going.
home.
I'm gonna go against LeBron because while I do see double upside, that's also a Wemby rookie.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the logo, the rookie shield in my defense.
Yeah. It's not a bad decision. And I could be talked into it the other way. I just think that if you want a sure thing, I think that's the way you go.
Agree.
Listeners at home, if you would like to have your say on this, which one would you take, the Wemby or the LeBron? Please let us know. We could even put up a post for this, actually.
Put up a poll. Who's going
The other
with
one
what?
is the Knicks, and this is a really good one too. I want to talk to you about this. This is the 2024 Donruss Optic Jalen Bronson Downtown Gold Vinyl 1 of 1. PSA 10 on this too, Ad. This sold for $28,300. This is from Sports Card Invest on Instagram.
It's a weird.
Tell me, what do you think about this
shot.
card? What do you think about the price? Where are you at with this?
I'm not a fan of the photo. Sorry.
Okay.
Just not a fan of
You
the
don't
photo.
like the design?
Yeah, I didn't know if he's off balance, if he's falling. Like,
I think it's like a driving lefty layup he's doing.
Yeah. But who knows? He could have tripped over.
Okay.
I don't know. No,
What about the downtown picture in the background? What about that?
Oh, look, there's a nice little apple there. It's a big apple, actually. It's not a little apple.
Yeah.
Compared to the city skyline, it's a big apple because it's New York.
The taxi, Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, they've sort of they've hit the mark really well.
I like that.
It's good. I like the fact that his knees over the cab, like they've squeezed the artwork in around the picture. Maybe that's the reason they chose it.
Maybe.
Yeah, nice. I think it's an interesting little card.
The gold vinyl for me is a bit of a funny one though, because there's so much happening in this card. The only gold vinyl is just like a small strip at the bottom. It's not like a regular card where it's obviously gold vinyl. Like,
but would that mean flicker? You can't tell on a
flat picture like this.
On a flat picture, but the trim around his likeness seems to be gold. I reckon this would really sparkle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think Brunson would be lit up in hand.
Yeah,
and
for
I think
sure.
it would look amazing. But yeah, nice little card.
Alrighty, I think we can go for a break and then we can finish off our last segment of today.
And just go through stuff.
With some Keontae George, Kobe Kaboom, Jokic going to tops.
Stacks.
Absolutely do that.
Easy.
Thank you to US Sports Cards Australia for your ongoing love and support of our podcast. We cannot thank you enough, Ross. Ross has been working hard, as always, on his Check Out My Cards Australia. So go to ussportscardsaustralia.com.au, click on the noodle on the left-hand side. You'll see the drop-down. Breaks, singles, hobby boxes, yada, yada, yada. Also check out My Cards Australia. Now, I had some feedback from a listener who was doing a submission. What you need to do is when you fill out your form, write on it, you can't comp this, you will get the submission for free, but you have to pay for at least one card to be subbed. So what that means is you pay your 9 cents and then you get like the rest of them for free. So I think what the listener was asking me about was, do I have to pay for the whole lot or do I just pay for one? So yeah, I think there's no actual discount code on this. And I think that does create some like legitimate confusion on Ross's end. So that answers that question very specifically. We are absolutely getting more cards submitted to it though. And Ross was sending me through some stats today about total sales that people have done. So let's just really quickly go through some of these. $600 from one seller, $390 from another, $340 from another, and $165 from another. So he's getting through volume of cards here. He's getting through sales. It's really exciting. I think it's great to see it take off and getting more people cards submitted. I've also done my own sub, so I'm going to be updating this as it progresses along. I'll keep you guys updated how all that's going. Again, thank you to US Sports Cards Australia for your ongoing support. Alrighty, Adam, we're coming into the fourth quarter. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Are you feeling hydrated? I think that's the key point at this time.
Hydrated. I'm certainly hydrated. Hyped. Ready for the last quarter. We're not going to like a triple overtime thriller at the moment. I think this is the hard work was done in the first half.
Yeah, that's right.
The game
not
up.
Blow
the game up yet.
Any gaskets here, are we, mate?
That's it. Might even get a chance to empty the bench. Who knows?
Yeah. If anyone's listening out there and you might be to hook me up with this, I'd really like to do like a drink sponsorship. So as we go into the fourth quarter, we can talk about the drink we're doing. I think that would fit into the show really well. If anyone can hook me up, that would be fantastic. Alrighty, Keontae George, he was highlighted by Market Risers on Instagram, which is the Market Movers app. His 23 Prism Silver rookie card is up 86.7%. I actually find that I wonder if those stats are a little bit misleading. We will definitely go through some Keontae George pricing. However, it's pretty fair to say he's up. I'm just surprised he's up 87%.
Yeah.
One card that is on Card Ladder is his Prismania. It last sold for $1,275 on the PSA 10. Pop on that is 5. So I do want to keep talking about the Prismanias as we come into these cards because I think they are ridiculous cards. And I think that we need to keep an eye on them, just as we would keep an eye on like a Jordan PMG, and we'll keep an eye on some other sort of bits and pieces here and there. All right, so his rookie card in a PSA 10 form last sold for $135. So my question to you, my friend, is Keontae George a good buy at $135?
At how much?
135 USD for a PSA 10 silver.
Look, it's not bad value, but I can't imagine it's not like bargain. Like it's not a bargain at that price. I think
definitely not a bargain.
No, I like you're looking. That's similar prices to like Josh Giddey and Chet. Sorry, going back a few months, but
no, it's
you know
totally
what I mean.
fine.
Like they're a play. I'm sorry. The growth is great from Keontae, but I don't know if because he's in Utah. No offense to the Jazz fans out there, but if where he's playing warrants his value. I'm really critical of the small markets this week, but yeah.
No, that's okay. All right, so he's 22 years of age. So he's not a super young prospect at this point. It's actually his third year in the league.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a fun, like Utah's such a funny team.
Yeah.
Such a funny team, isn't it? They're sort of like so far out of your eye that, someone could be 22 years old and, and flourishing. And you just wouldn't be like paying attention that much. You know what I mean? Like I find them so weird. 22 points a game, 0.9 steals, 6.8 assists, 4 rebounds a game, 91% from the free throw line. That's pretty good. Effective field goal percentage is .513. That's actually very efficient, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think what my concern is with the Utah Jazz is just what their direction is. I feel like they're in full asset collection mode. So even if you buy into Keontae George, he might not fit into their picture soon, or he might even get traded. And so,
But that could end up as a positive, right?
absolutely could be a positive. I just really feel like at this point in time, it's just such a huge gamble. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, if you're going to gamble at that price, yeah, 100%. I think Chet is a better gamble. I would much rather put my cash into Chet at
Well,
this point.
the reason I mentioned Chet, right? So just to set the stage, Chet's in the spotlight. You might be under SGA, but he's
Chet's a
also
baller too, man. Like, I think that kid is just insane.
and it's all well and good in a bubble to go, oh my God, Keontae George is killing it for the Utah Jazz. Holistically, league highlights wise, he's not making the mark because he plays for this small franchise that aren't really doing anything in the standings,
They're not a great
right?
team. Yeah.
So when Anthony Edwards spiked, it's because the guy was touted as the next Jordan, and the Timberwolves were making a run. They were finally putting themselves into relevance at the pointy end of the season.
Yeah.
Like the Timberwolves were playing winning basketball, and he was trying to becoming like face of the league level stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So
you were referencing Chet, so he's currently trading at 197. So it's a
okay,
little
so
bit
a
of
bit
a jump
higher.
up. It's a little bit of a jump up.
I'd pay the extra for Chet.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think at this point that will be a much better investment. If you look at Chet the last 3 months, he's up a lot. He's actually up 75%. So without going too deep into that, we're probably missed on that. But we did talk about him a while back to say he was an absolute buy. Kobe Bryant Kaboom. This is for you at 2016 Excalibur. That is exponentially gone up. PSA 10, population 3. It sold for $108,000. The previous sale was a very long time ago, but it looks to me like the previous sale was like, oh God, maybe 10K or in that sort of price range. So, and that sold in 2023. So that is a hell of an upkick in 3 years.
Really hurting my chances of ever getting a Kobe Kaboom, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not great.
Gulp. Dare I point out that it's about 5 weeks until the 20th anniversary of the 81-point game.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so just like hear me out on this for 2 seconds, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
let's do 2 comps here. So let's comp the Kobe to the Brunson, because you pointed out that Brunson photo was kind of crap. That Kobe photo is perfect. That just fits.
I like it. Yeah.
It's cool. All right. Now the second comp is to the Jordan. Just look at the aesthetics. So I've got them side by side on my screen at the moment.
That one and
both of them are good action shots. I'll put that like even for even.
Yeah.
The aesthetics of the card, I would probably go for the PMG. I think the red is a little bit better, but I think that the lettering on the Kaboom, like where it says Lakers and Kobe Bryant, I think that's better than the Michael Jordan and the PMG insignia. I think obviously you know what I'm going to say next about the aesthetics of the card. I think the Kaboom is like overall like significantly better. Population, we will never know the true population on these, but I will be shocked if it's more than 90. And the population on this is 3, despite it being a 10, and the 8.5 is a population 11. So like it's a really funny one, isn't it? And with the price comparison there too, it's still 6 times more expensive than Jordan.
All right, so this is really,
it's not a crazy purchase though.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. No, not at all. I think, it's Jordan and Kobe. I think there's a level of basis of comparison, relativity wise. I don't think the Kobe Kaboom will ever eclipse or beat the PMG. And I think aesthetically, and I'm trying to choose my words very carefully, there's got to be an appreciation of what era each card came out of, because they're like 20 years apart.
The technology changed, the way that people looked after chain cards is people's card literacy has increased so much now. Like you even see kids walking around with penny slips.
100%. So like a Topps Chrome Refractor Kobe rookie versus the Michael Jordan rookie, the Fleer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like there's that, I don't know, vintage nature of the PMG versus the Kaboom, which is in the boom of technology and modern cards. That said,
Yeah.
I think they both have their unique spot.
I don't feel bad comping those two cards though, Ad. Like I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but also I
Yeah,
don't feel bad about comping them. Do you know what I mean? It's like I think that even though yeah, I'd rather buy it for 5K instead of 100K, but that might turn out to
yeah.
be an exceptional purchase, you know, moving down the line.
Well, and the fact that the low pop's what got my eye.
Yeah, 100%. This
Yeah,
is from Slab Stocks. This next one, huge news. Topps Chrome NBA keeps getting better and better as Nikola Jokic now joins Giannis as a signer in the set, bringing two of the top three NBA players into the set with on-card autos. Thoughts on this addition?
I think I feel bad for Luka Doncic. Yeah, Jokic getting in you can't say that the Joker being added to the roster is a bad thing. You can never say it. Like Jokic signing is fantastic.
Yeah, as a card nerd, this is really good.
Yeah,
His
hell
autos
yeah.
are way underrated, undervalued, and
I
it's
just
great.
yeah.
You can pick up Denver relatively cheaply in PYTs. Maybe you'll get a Jokic auto now. This is what you want.
But
I
it
like
is.
it.
It's Jokic, yeah. All right, so blanket statement time. We want more athletes signing. Simple as that. We want the
Sure.
best of the best signing cards
Yeah.
so that those collectors have the opportunity to acquire those cards.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
I think probably my closing thought on this, though, is it's Nikola Jokic and not Luka Doncic. I think we also need to keep that relative. It's like, say, Kobe Bryant versus Tim Duncan.
Yeah. That's actually a really good idea. Like Tim Duncan's signing is great, but
Who cares?
we need Kobe back.
You know, a very small handful of people care
Yeah.
about it deeply. I'm one of
No.
them. I really want a Duncan autograph, but the reality is people would rather a Ja Morant, probably even still to this day, than a Duncan.
No, come on. Ja Morant's washed.
No, I don't know, man. People love that kid.
Washed.
He did compare his assistant coach's head to a basketball the other day. Did you see that clip?
No, but it's probably accurate. Let's be fair.
It was kind of
Still
funny.
washed.
It was disrespectful, but funny.
Still washed.
All right, I think we're going to finish on this week, and I'm not mad about this. This is from Hoop Central, at the Hoop Central. Crazy. Derek Queen is the first rookie center in NBA history to record a 30-point triple-double per real app. Fire,
Really?
fire, fire emoji. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 blocks, 11 of 15 field goals in 33 minutes. Yeah, he's ridiculously efficient. Like, I think we're in a bit of a mind trap at the moment because we see people like Nikola Jokic and Luka is not that efficient, but he's very effective. And I think we're
that's
a
good.
little
That's
bit
a good way to
spoiled
say
at the
it.
moment. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Little bit. We're way spoiled at the moment.
you get a kid like this comes along and kind of like people don't care, you know, because we've got other mega stars to look at. And so obviously it's a small sample size. You know, he plays for a really crappy team. I get all of that. But guys, if you have League Pass, watch some Pelicans games. If you've got, or everyone's got YouTube, if you want to see some Derek Queen highlights, just go onto YouTube, search for his name.
Yeah.
You won't regret spending 10 or 15 minutes watching this kid. Let's finish off today's show with some sales. This is from Card Ladder Pro, the sales history component of that.
Yeah.
I love this a lot. Alrighty, let's go past anything that says Bowman Chrome University. 25-26 Topps Derek Queen Contemporary Marks. That's an autograph. That sold for $48. That's a very healthy sale.
It is.
Blackout Friday exclusive SP. That sold for $475. It's just like a base card, basically.
Yeah.
Derek Queen No Limit Purple Rainbow to $250 sold for $15. Topps Rookie Round Ball Remnants Jersey Pelicans for $6. I'm okay with that.
I like the No Limit. The purple rainbow thing looks really good.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
Topps
for sure.
Blackout Holo Foil. I'm interested in this. Target exclusive. That looks really cool to me. That looks like a silver or a refractor. That sold for just $650. I actually wonder if there's a little bit of value on this kid. Big Ballers Insert Rookie Card. That sold for $450. Let's try and find something a bit bigger. I'll try and
that lovely RC crappy rookie shield. I've got to get used to it.
All right, here we go. Here's a couple of big boys for you, Ad. Derek Queen First Stamp 1/1 Rookie SP. Of course, it's SP. It's 1/1. That sold for $3,250.
Jesus.
So that's like a 1/1 Don Russ essentially. So that's That's actually a lot of money, really, for a Donruss card, isn't it?
It's a lot for a Donruss card. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Look,
but
that's a little bit buyer beware for me, but at the same time,
yeah,
maybe
the
they love this guy
orange
and
to
they.
25 rookie card sold for 100
Yeah.
out of Tops. That's all right.
There's a
Orange.
1 of 1 autograph that looks like a sticker to me. Okay, so Tops is just up to Panini tricks at this point in time. That's sold for
Oh,
2,500. I mean, I'd rather an autograph than a Donruss card, to be honest.
yeah.
I think that's probably better value.
Okay, what about the Tops, the retro, the 1980-81 look, Pelicans, the on-card auto?
Okay.
It's an interesting one.
What did that sell for at?
220.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Some
I'm down with
interesting
that.
cards on the good little search functionality on the card ladder.
Yeah. Thank you to Central Coast Radio. Thank you to all our friends in Canada, Philippines. I need to shout out Philippines. Thank
Damn
you
right.
to all of our supporters on YouTube in America. YouTube America is Americans are now our number one supporter on YouTube. So thank you so much.
Popping off.
To our friends in the US of A. Thank you to, of course, all of our sponsors. Thank you to you, Adam.
No, thanks. Thank you, Russell.
My pleasure. Probably should thank Anthony Milne tonight, really.
Yes, well, I've actually got, I'll put it on the run sheet, but Anthony has asked an all-star question for next week.
Great. We will absolutely do that.
Until then, see you, everyone. See you next week.